Spain had just reached the final of Euro 2025, but there was a serious look on Captain Irene Paredes' face as she spoke to the media after the win over Germany in Zurich last Wednesday. "Come on, Tia, we have to celebrate," interrupted a beaming Catacol, the goalkeeper well aware that those moments do not come around very often. Outside, her teammates were doing just that. Cristina Martin Prieto was banging a drum, Patri Guiaro was blasting music from a speaker, and Olga Carmona was asking where the beer was as the players filed onto the bus for the journey back to Lausanne. Sadly for them, that proved the high point of Spain's summer in Switzerland in the end, as another Euros eventually came to a crushing end with Sunday's penalty shootout defeat to England in Basel. Midfielder Aitana Bonmati, named the player of the tournament, said the loss left her in shock, while there was a realization among her teammates that they now have to wait another 4 years for a shot at becoming European champions for the first time. The world champions had ticked off a series of firsts as they made their way to the final at St. Jacob Park. A first Euros knockout win, a first-ever victory over Germany, and a first final appearance. They had played the best football throughout the tournament, winning all 5 of their games, and were favorites to beat England, as they did in the World Cup final in 2023. Euro 2025 final as it happened. England repeat as champions. England player ratings. Hampton scores 10 out of 10 in triumph. Women's Euro 2025 bracket. Results and fixture schedule. Instead, they were sent home empty-handed once again, having been eliminated in the quarterfinals in 2013, 2017 and 2022. Their only other appearance at the finals, in 1997, ended at the semi-final stage. The immediate reaction was of luck deserting them again at the Euros. 3 years ago it was Alexia Putellas, at the peak of her powers, tearing her ACL on the eve of the tournament and setting the stage for a quarter-final exit to England. This time it was a failure to turn dominance into goals and the cruel nature of penalties. "We deserved more, but who doesn't?" Paredes told reporters after the final. "England had that bit of luck they've had throughout the tournament. It wasn't to be for us." Spain had over 60% of the ball and 22 shots to England's 8, but rarely tested goalkeeper Hannah Hampton after Mariona Caldenti gave them a first-half lead. Alessia Russo equalized for England and, after Bonmati, Caldenti and Salma Paraluelo missed their penalties, Chloe Kelly converted to make it back-to-back Euro wins for England. "I'm devastated," Bonmati said, apologizing for missing from the spot. "From the 70th minute onwards, we were in control. We were the better team. I think we're the ones who have done the best in the tournament, who have played the best and who have the most talent. That may well be linked to the fact Spain have finally been given the tools they need to perform. There have been significant changes to the setup around the national team since that World Cup win, which culminated with former Royal Spanish Football Federation (RFEF) President Luis Rubiales forcibly kissing Jenny Hermoso. That led to a player revolt, Rubiales' departure, and finally recognition from the RFEF that the conditions around the squad needed to be improved. Sources have told ESPN that there is still work to be done, but this has been a tournament marked by the players finally being able to focus purely on football. "The fact things have changed in terms of the RFEF, we feel much better during training camps than we did before, and that is reflected on the pitch," Bonmati told ESPN before the semi-final against Germany. The players were impressed with the pitch and the facilities installed for them at the Juan Antonio Samaranch Stadium, their training base by the lake in Lausanne, and the attention to detail at the hotel, including spaces for children, for players who are parents, like Paredes. Sources say it is a world away from what they experienced at previous tournaments. Sources also detail how an increased support staff, including coaches, physios and nutritionists, helped with small but important details in Spain's run to the final. One source suggested the analysis which revealed Germany goalkeeper Ann-Katrin Berger leaves her near post unattended, which led to Bonmati's semi-final winner, may not have been picked up by skeleton staff at previous finals. The rest days, the freedom for the players to get out and see Switzerland with their friends and families, also helped the squad disconnect and remain fresh. "That I can sit here and all the questions you ask me are just about football reflects the changes we are achieving," coach Montse Tomé said on the eve of the tournament. Paredes added, "Firm steps forward have been taken. The knock-on effect to those changes, which can also be seen as a positive, is that there are also increased expectations on Tomei and her players to deliver. This team has been growing little by little, defender Leia Alexandri told ESPN. There's more and more demanded of us all the time. Having been world champions, it gives you some peace of mind, but it also makes you realize the level of demand needed to do that. With that demand, there may now be some difficult questions. Tomei's contract expires next month, and her future is uncertain. She did well to fuse together a mix of youth and experience in Switzerland, keeping the focus on football, but ultimately came up short once again, as was the case at the Olympic Games last summer when Spain finished fourth. Is that good enough when you consider the squad she has at her disposal? It includes back-to-back Ballon d'Or winner Bonmati, Putellas, herself a two-time Ballon d'Or winner, Barcelona's midfield linchpin Guijarro, WSL Player of the Year Caldenti, and NWSL and Euros top scorer Esther Gonzalez. And the production line is not slowing down. Young Vicky Lopez and Claudia Pina both impressed at these finals, while there is hope that Paralluelo, who has had a difficult year, can rediscover the form which saw her finish third in the Ballon d'Or in each of the last 2 seasons. Paredes, Putellas and Gonzalez, all into their 30s, may not have as long to run on their international careers, but a clear identity dictates Spain will create more talent and win more trophies. No country has such a defined or successful, certainly in recent years, philosophy across their women's, men's and youth teams. However, it still takes a little more to get over the line at major tournaments. In winning her 3rd consecutive Euros, England coach Serena Wiegman showed she has what it takes. Does Tomei? That is one of the questions facing the RFEF, although that said, it's worth reflecting on where this team has come from. Spain had never won a knockout game at any major finals going into the World Cup in 2023. They have since won 6, and lost the 7th on penalties, and are world champions and Euros runners-up, even if Sunday's painful defeat to the Lionesses hurt. Bonmati, who recovered from viral meningitis to make the tournament, certainly doesn't need to be offering apologies. The final defeat may not have ended with Call leading the party, Martin Prieto banging the drum and Carmona seeking beer, but Spain can have reasons to believe their Euros luck will change.